Hi guys, I'm going to talk to you about the differences between liberty and freedom. So in modern society, when we think about these two words, we use those two words interchangeably, and they're not the same. So I looked up the definitions in various dictionaries just to see what they said. And in the KJV dictionary, liberty is defined as freedom from restraint in a general sense and applicable to the body or the will or the mind. And that dictionary.com defines liberty as freedom from arbitrary or despotic government or control. And the Merriam-Webster dictionary says that liberty is the quality or state of being free. Now, this is interesting because when I looked up the definitions of freedom in the same dictionaries, freedom and liberty had the same definition in that dictionary. But for definitions.com, liberty is permission to go freely within certain limits. Now, this also is interesting to me because when we think about freedom, there are no limits. You don't have to ask permission. So it's interesting that freedom, that liberty for this dictionary has that definition. So now let's see what Aristotle has to say about these two. So for Aristotle, human beings want to achieve the human good. That is their goal. And to do that, institutions are created to help people achieve human excellence. Yet these institutions allow certain liberties to obtain a higher order, their political order, but people are not completely free because they are limited by the institutions. And yet government was necessary, according to Aristotle, because it would prevent anarchy. So here we see the limitations of liberty, which is that one definition that we did look at. Hobbes, on the other hand, he thinks that government encroaches upon liberty and freedoms, and he states that liberty is understood according to the proper... Sorry, let me back up here. So we just gave you those. Just reviewed that. So let's go to Thomas Hobbes. So, liberty is understood according to the proper signification of the word to be the absence of external impediments. And these impediments may often take away part of a man's power to do what he would, but they cannot hinder him from using the power left him according as his judgment and reason shall dictate him. Now, this is interesting too, because here a person is not truly free either because they don't have free will, because judgment and reason are dictating to them what to do. And again, when I looked up the definition of freedom, it says that freedom is the ability to do without restraint or permission. Freedom is an Old English word, meaning the state of free will. Again, that same definition of liberty. But let's see what Thomas Hobbes has to say about freedom. So deliberation was not the very fount of our freedom, as was for Aquinas, but instead its termination in action. To deliberate for Hobbes was literally to deliberate, to end our freedom by choosing one course of action, thereby putting an end to liberty we had of doing or omitting. Hobbes' attitude toward deliberation is telling because he apparently thought that freedom was not the successful consummation of a goal-driven activity like it was for Aristotle, that goal being human excellence or the human good, but the mere keeping open of alternative possibilities for the unobstructed movement of physical bodies. So in other words, freedom had more to do with keeping your options open for Hobbes than by choosing one course of action and performing it. So hopefully this will help you keep these two definitions separate. Thank you.